There was no scandal announcement, no NASCAR press release, no viral controversy clip, nothing that looked like news at all. And yet, somewhere inside the 2026 season, the most important development of the entire year happened in complete silence. A piece of metal on the front of a race car was quietly altered, and almost the entire garage scrolled past it without blinking. One man caught it. Not a reporter, not a crew chief, not a team of engineers. One man, alone, reading a technical post on his phone. He sits in the cockpit every Sunday, chasing the exact manufacturer he's about to expose, while also signing the checks in the front office of the team, trying to catch up to them. What he wrote was short, almost dismissive in length. But once people understood who wrote it, it stopped looking small. By the end of this video, you'll understand why one anonymous-looking sentence from a man sitting in two different chairs of the same sport just cracked open the biggest secret of the 2026 season. Let's walk through this step by step so every piece lands in order before the reveal makes sense. Across 22 races run in the 2026 season, Toyota has collected 13 wins, Chevrolet has 6, and Ford has only 3. Toyota alone has outwon Chevrolet and Ford combined. This sits directly against the entire purpose of the next-gen car, a spec chassis engineered specifically to prevent exactly this kind of runaway dominance among manufacturers. Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin, both Toyota-aligned, held first and second in the standings for stretches of the year, each stringing together 3 consecutive win streaks of their own. At one stretch of the season, 7 Toyota cars would have made the playoffs had the regular season ended early, a number no other manufacturer came close to matching. What is Toyota doing that nobody else in the garage has cracked? By the way, quick note before we go further. If this kind of real NASCAR breakdown is what you're here for, hit subscribe. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers on this channel, and every single subscriber genuinely helps us keep digging into stories exactly like this one. Alright, back to the splitter. On July 28th, the throwaway comment happened on Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour podcast, a casual conversation, which is exactly why almost nobody flagged it as important at the time. Co-host Mamba Smith mentioned, almost in passing, that NASCAR had quietly adjusted the splitter, framing it first around Joey Logano and Team Penske, rather than the wider garage. Mamba Smith described it as a small nose adjustment that could help with downforce. He added a cryptic warning about letting rivals hang around too long, a line that plays like foreshadowing once the audience understands what's coming next. Confusion spread across X soon after, with fans asking what change, when it actually happened, and why no major outlet had reported it properly. To understand why this mattered, it helps to know what a splitter actually does on a next-gen car. It is the flat panel at the very front bottom of the car, riding inches from the track surface, fighting a constant battle against the air at 190 miles per hour. The real story sits in something called flex, a bend invisible from the grandstands, yet powerful enough to reshape an entire season of racing. The chain reaction runs like this. Flex changes airflow, airflow changes grip, grip changes cornering speed, and cornering speed decides who wins on Sunday afternoon. If one manufacturer learned to control that flex better than the other two, it would not technically be cheating. It would be living inside a gray area the rulebook never fully saw coming. The confirmation came from inside the garage itself. Bob Pockrass, a trusted NASCAR insider, responded directly to a fan question on X. Pockrass confirmed teams were required to add struts to the front of the splitter starting at North Wilkesboro, meant to stop it from moving or deforming at high speed. He was fair about it too. He did not call it cheating, noted the advantage was still debated inside the garage, and pointed out Toyota was still fast at Indianapolis even after the change went into effect. If this was truly a minor tweak, why is the whole garage still arguing about it weeks later? The man from the opening was Brad Keselowski, a Ford driver and co-owner of RFK Racing, someone with more personal stake in this story than almost anyone else in the sport. Replying directly to Pockrass's post, Keselowski called it a change that didn't really get any media play, but was a big deal. A man racing against Toyota, and owning a team chasing Toyota, was publicly signaling that this mattered far more than the media had treated it. Denny Hamlin offered a direct counter, describing Toyota's edge as coming from preparation, collaboration, and execution, not a loophole in the rulebook. Two quotes, sitting in direct opposition, form the controversy engine driving this entire story forward. The data on what happened after the rule change does not settle anything either. Toyota delivered 4 of the top 6 finishers at North Wilkesboro and finished 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th at Indianapolis, barely dented by the newly mandated struts. Ford answered with Joey Logano winning at North Wilkesboro and placing 5 cars inside the top 11, followed by a stronger Indy showing that saw Logano finish 3rd, with Ford filling out the top 15. Both of these tracks are historically Ford-strong circuits, which muddies whether the improvement traces back to the rule change itself or simply favorable scheduling. Either the splitter was never the real secret behind Toyota's dominance, or it was part of it and Toyota is still dominant without it, and both possibilities are bad news for the manufacturers trying to catch up. Online, fans remain split between blaming tire wear, mechanical grip, or aerodynamics for Toyota's long-run pace, with some pointing out that the deformation theory lines up closely with how Toyota cars seem to gain strength late in a run. Keselowski's theory reaches far beyond the splitter itself. He believes races are increasingly won inside boardrooms, through manufacturer-level engineering decisions, long before the cars ever hit the track on race day. He points to the 2020-2021 rules shift that pulled engineering influence away from individual teams and into manufacturer hands, a change he believes ultimately targeted teams like Furniture Row Racing, which had spent its way to a championship before vanishing from the sport entirely. In his framing, manufacturers began quietly favoring certain teams over others, creating a growing internal imbalance across the garage. Toyota's counter-move was recognizing that imbalance early and pushing elite collaboration between Joe Gibbs Racing, 23XI Racing, and now Legacy Motor Club, turning one strong team and one weaker team into 2 full A-level operations, feeding off each other's data. Keselowski said he doesn't see any other manufacturer collaborating at Toyota's level. He was careful not to blame Logano individually, insisting the cars, not the driver, are the real issue at hand, and that he feels the same frustration about his own program. Earlier this season, rumors circulated that RFK Racing could abandon Ford entirely for Dodge, which is rumored to join the sport as a 4th manufacturer in 2028. Keselowski shut that rumor down directly on X, stating RFK has a multi-year commitment to Ford and reaffirming his goal to make them championship winners again. He admitted, in his own words, that the team is in a lull it doesn't want to be in, and that fixing it is on them, not on Ford. A man defending his manufacturer's honor publicly, while privately signaling through the splitter tweet that the deck might be stacked against them, is a striking contradiction to sit with. A new Ford body is arriving for 2027, which Keselowski believes could close some of the gap, though not in time for this season. Only 4 races remain before the playoffs, the entire remaining window for Ford and Chevrolet to prove anything real on track. The struts are already bolted on, the rule is locked in, and Toyota has not blinked once. Fans and insiders remain divided, some insisting the real Toyota advantage still hasn't been found, others insisting the splitter proved it was there all along. Was the splitter really the secret behind Toyota's 2026 takeover, or is the real answer still hiding somewhere nobody has looked yet? If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next. Drop your take in the comments and share this video with another NASCAR fan who needs to see it. Claude is